Hey guys, sorry if you've seen a video pop up on your subscription list. Don't worry, ignore that video. I uploaded the wrong video because I'm a dumb fuck. This is why you have to have your files, organized, which I'm gonna start probably doing now, because I got too many goddamn. I have over 1,300 videos on my folder. I have to delete some of these shits, or not delete it, but organize it. Damn sure not delete. That's stuff from my Millennial Smart channel. But yeah, ignore that. Okay, this is a brand new video. The last video on your subscription, I made a mistake and uploaded the wrong audio file. This is the real one right here. Don't worry. Enjoy. Hey guys, my name is Devontae and I sacrificed my time so you don't have to. I'm getting ready to go to work in a little bit, but something just popped up in my news feed and I gotta talk about this. I gotta rant about this because the more and more I think about it, it just makes the situation even more stupider to me. So, Randy Orton, he was announced. I mean, Cody Rhodes didn't outright say his name, but for all intents and purposes, obviously he's referring to Randy Orton, is going to be making his return at Survivor Series after being gone for nearly 2 years with a back injury. That's awesome. That's what we want to see. That's what I want to see. My biggest draw to Survivor Series, it's not War Games. It's not War Games. My biggest draw to Survivor Series is seeing the return of Randy Orton, an actual superstar. So that's what you're probably looking forward to, most likely also, right? Some may be looking forward to, okay, is CM Punk gonna really return? But these are two names at the very least that you look at and you say to yourself, the match doesn't matter. I do not care about the moves. I do not care about the match type in itself. It just goes right back to what I've been saying for the longest, that the whole match move stuff, the kung fu fighting move styles that they do in the ring, the choreographed nonsense that they do in the ring, no one gives a shit about that. Only marks who actually are within that internet wrestling fan base nonsense gives a shit about that. What the average fan cares about, and that's not me just saying that, MJF has said it also. Go watch that chiropractor video I put out on my community post a couple days ago. My point being is, this is just obvious stuff that people, it's the obvious. That's how you hold on to an audience. It's character, story. That's what we care about. You know something else we don't care about, that only the internet fan base would care about, that pretty much no one gives a shit about in their entertainment? Equity. We care about equality. We want everybody to have an opportunity. What we don't want is equity. What we don't want is agenda-driven things within our product in order to make a political point that none of us gives a shit about. As a matter of fact, we actually come to the entertainment aspect or whatever we actually want to see to get away from bullshit like that. Or the aspects of entertainment to get away from bullshit like that. So tell me why. Tell me why on God's green earth that you're having Randy Orton coming back to War Games. That's a huge draw. That's the main event, obviously. That's what's going to be the drawing factor of this show, more so than anything else. Tell me why you have this, but yet you still have a War Games match for the women. Why? Why? Why would you go out of your way and still have a War Games match for the women when you have a match that needs this? Not only does it need it, but it just feels more special if you just leave the War Games to the fucking man. That's what I mean about this equity bullshit. This is not equality, it's equity. Equality would be common sense to put the women in a Survivor Series regular standard match. They don't even have 5 fucking women. They had to fucking turn Asuka heel and put Shotzi Blackheart in a fucking match to make this make sense. Shotzi fucking Blackheart is in a War Games match, and on the main roster, this isn't NXT, this is the main roster, and Shotzi fucking Blackheart is in a War Games match. You had to physically turn Asuka heel to make this make sense. Dakota Kai should have been the one inside that match, but it doesn't make any fucking sense because Dakota Kai is still injured. None of this makes sense. You're forcing it. This is what I mean once again when it comes right back to the equity bullshit. You're forcing it. Why on God's green earth could they have just not had a regular Survivor Series match? Huh? At least then the 4-on-4 stipulation can make sense because Survivor Series historically has been 5-on-5, but you can make it 4-on-4. Hell, you can make it 3-on-3 if you remember back in 1995. It's not as if this is some fucking foreign concept. But yet they have to get a War Games match. The match, to make it feel that much more special, that much more of an attachment to the audience, watered down by a stupid fucking match that doesn't even necessitate the rules in place to make it make sense. fucking got a 4-on-4 war. That doesn't register, bruh. This is so fucking, and yes, I know people are gonna play, but oh, Devontae, yes, they historically had war games in WCW 4-on-4, Sting Squadron, all that. I understand. I get that. But we're talking about things within the WWE scope, within the WWE main roster scope. The rules, the mandates. Look at what the men are doing. I'm not making up shit. Look at what the men are doing. 5-on-5. Why? Because they actually have the power, the story to make it make sense. Nobody in that match that's actually facing up with the people across to them doesn't make any fucking sense. Everybody belongs in that goddamn match. And here's the thing that no one even talks about. So let's just get the logic out of the way as far as what fucking makes sense. You don't even understand, you people who promote this type of fucking thinking, this philosophy, you don't even understand at the end of the day how much you're fucking over the actual women. I bet my fucking ass. No one will fucking say it, but I bet my fucking ass. The majority of the women who are put into spots like this, it's one thing to main event a WrestleMania. It's one thing to be doing certain things like main event in a 7 for Raw, some shit like that. But I guarantee you the pressure put on some of these women to know that they have to go out there to even know that, hey, for the end of the day, our War Games match ain't gonna mean a goddamn thing. Why? Because Randy Orton is right there. And even if you get like a turn, think about this for a second, that makes it even worse. Say hypothetically they actually do this whole angle that's supposed to play out with Bayley, right? Say they actually go out there and they do this War Games match and they want to make it more memorable, so they have the Damage Control girls turn on Bayley in the end of the match because she might eat the pinfall. Ask yourselves this. Would you, call me crazy, considering it's at a pay-per-view, it's going to have more eyeballs on it. Would you want that angle to play out on Survivor Series? One may say yes, I would love to have that angle play out in Survivor Series. But guess what? You're not going to have that angle play out in Survivor Series, or you might have that angle play out in Survivor Series, but if you have it play out in Survivor Series, it's going to get overshadowed by Randy Orton and maybe even potentially CM Punk. Not confirmed, obviously, but potentially. It's that whole Shinsuke Nakamura shit is playing up to what we believe it to be as. You might even get overshadowed by CM Punk. But focusing on Randy Orton, because we know that's confirmed. You're gonna get your shit overshadowed. That's if you have it. If you don't have it and it's a standard match, no one's gonna remember this match at all, period. At least you got somewhat of a fucking chance. It's not gonna get talked about nearly as much as the return of Randy Orton. But at least you have somewhat of a chance to be somewhat memorable, even though you're just going to be a fucking footnote in the end of the day. But you know what you could have done? You know what you could have done? A Survivor Series match with the women, or better yet, here's another fucking thought, just throwing it out there. Don't have the match at all, period, and just have a standard one-on-one match with Io Shirai versus some member from their fucking team. Just straight up a one-on-one match. Hell, maybe you can even done the fucking turn on Bayley a while back. And you could have had Io versus Bayley. And then you could have ran a story to prevent them from actually wrestling and then kick that match down the road. Something that doesn't completely bury the women, but at the same time, you notate the women. Hell, you could have even had Charlotte versus Bianca Belair. One-on-one Survivor Series match. #1 contender, or not even #1 contender. 30th spot at the Royal Rumble. Something along the lines of that. To give them a War Games match, which will naturally be overshadowed, they will not stand out at all. It's pitiful. It's bullshit. It's equity nonsense. And you know the sad part about it is? Someone like a Bayley who's inside that match. Because here's the thing. Io Shirai, all the Joshi wrestlers, they have their following. In the end of the day, all the Joshi wrestlers have their following in the end of the day. Dakota Kai, she has a strong following on that Twitch channel of hers. Bianca Belair, Charlotte, massively fucking over. Becky Lynch, massively fucking over. How you even have to force fucking Becky Lynch in the goddamn match? Make that make sense. She's a Raw superstar, but you need the match so desperately. The match has to happen so desperately. You can't even find fucking women talent to fucking fill the goddamn void. Fill the goddamn spot. You have to bring fucking Becky Lynch from Raw to make this shit make sense. They even have some kind of semblance of star power inside it. Take away that for a second, though. All the women who have their followings, all the women who have all this stuff, you know the one who doesn't have the massive following? Bayley. Fuck Shotzi Blackheart. She's a nobody. Bailey is the one who's really suffering from all this in the end of the fucking day. But leave it up to the male feminists, because trust me, no woman watches professional wrestling, gives a shit about any of this in the end of the day. The majority of them, they can sit here and lie to you in the end of the day. The majority of the women who watch professional wrestling watch it to see the men. They watch it to see the men's body because they're fangirling over it. No different than when we want to see the women, but we get called creepy about it, right? In the end of the day, okay, fine, double standards, albeit, fuck it. My point being is, you know who you're fucking over in? You're fucking over someone like a Bailey, who doesn't have the following, who doesn't have anything really going for her right now besides the story in the end of the day, that you're now taking away from her, or you're going to give it to her and fuck her over in the end of the day because no one's going to remember it all too much. It will just be a footnote on the show. See, you male feminists, you people who are out there who think you're fighting for women's rights, equality, you realize you do this so much. You try so hard to be down. You try so hard to be an ally that you don't even recognize anything. You're fucking over the thing you're trying to fucking help out. You know, it reminds me, I remember it was this Fox News segment, probably like back in 2016 or 2017. I can't remember what it was. It was something about voters and IDs and shit like that. You know what? I'll leave it down in the description box below. I'll go link it because I remember that. Yeah, it was like he works with the Daily Wire right now. Ami Horowitz, some shit like that, some Jew dude. He was doing this interview on the street, right? And he went around. It was like a very progressive area. I want to say maybe New York City, but I'm not sure. And he started to talk to all the people. He separated. So he was talking to the white people, he talked to black people. He went to white people, and he was like, do you think voter IDs are racist? Like, you know, the idea of having ID to you know, vote. Obviously, it's not fucking racist. That's retarded. How the hell can you record a vote? How the hell do you know the person who's actually doing the vote? How the hell do you prove fraud? All these things are just fucking common sense. But they really think you're that fucking stupid. He was interviewing people on the streets, and he was like, do you think voter ID is racist? Right? And he went to the white people, and they were like, yeah, having ID is racist because, you know, black people, they don't know how to fucking have an ID. Because black people, they don't know how to use the internet. Because black people, they don't know. Just saying the most egregious racist shit in the fucking world, thinking in the end of the day you're being an ally or any of these stupid ass buzzwords, when in reality, you just think we're fucking dumb. That's why I keep trying to tell people on the Democratic side, on the progressive side, you do realize white progressives, those college elite students, they think you're fucking dumb. Now, you may get some conservatives who can be racist as fuck and say the same thing also, but trust me, you'll have a conservative or any type of libertarian or whatever tell you you're dumb right directly to your fucking face. At least the ones who you claim to be racist on the conservative side have the balls to be racist to your fucking face. You have these libtards over here who will go around all day saying shit about racism, this, racism, that, racism, that. And then you go to the black side, he starts to interview all the black people, and they're like, yeah, I got my ID right here. Yeah, I got my ID right here. Yeah, the DMV's down the street to get your ID. What the fuck are you talking about? That's how I feel in regards to how these fucking male feminists talk amongst each other when discussing the women. And now, we need to use our privilege. We need to use our power. You ain't got no fucking privilege, Timothy. Look at you, Timothy. You have pubes all over your fucking face. And you call it a beard. And it's like down past your chin. For some reason, it's on your neck. Why do you have pubes on your neck, Timothy? You're balding. You're balding, nigga. There's a bald spot in your head. Yet for some reason, you're trying to rock long hair, Timothy. What's going on, Timothy? Why are you doing that, huh? You know, you smell like you have cheese all over your dick that's been sitting there for 3 years. Wash, Timothy. Take off your Star Wars shirt, Timothy. Now, it may be hard because that gut of yours is preventing for that shit to come directly off your fucking head. I get it. But just suck in your gut a little bit. Run against the fucking wall and just throw that gut and take off that shirt, Timothy. All right? How about you take off those socks also? I know you use those socks for other means and you don't wash them, so stop it. You want me to believe this motherfucker right here is taking up for the women on television? An army of these losers on social media? Women's rights, women's rights, women's rights, women's rights. Yeah, right, bro. Incel motherfucker. I guarantee you think you're a fucking nice guy at the end of the day also, don't you? Women don't fucking care for that bullshit, asshole. All you're doing in the end of the day is fucking them over because when they are put into... Let me ask you guys a question. if there's an 8-match card, right? Because this is the same sentiments. You have an 8-match card, and you're just seeing a grueling match in the 6th match, and the main event is going to be in the 8th match. Do you ever remember the 7th match? Can you tell me anything that happened in that Jericho Omega match versus the Young Bucks? Those are actual stars, at least within the AEW fan base, and Jericho's an actual fucking legend. They were in the 7th spot. They were in that dead spot. Do you remember anything that happened in that match? Huh? Do you? Do you remember the match that happened after Swerve and Hangman Adam Page before MJF and Jay White? Do you remember that match? No, you don't. You don't remember because it's a fucking dead spot. I bet those guys would rather that be on the... I bet those guys would rather have that match on Dynamite, knowing there's a good chance it'll be the main event, versus being in that 7th spot. But leave it up to the nerds. Why'd you leave it off the pay-per-view? Why'd you leave it off the pay-per-view? Same sentiments can be said about the women also. I guarantee you that they will much rather run an angle and have that be the main event for SmackDown later on that week, or flat out do Bianca Belair versus Charlotte, so at the very least there's some star power that can justify maybe something memorable happening, or at the very least it stands side by side with the Randy Orton return, versus doing a Wargames match that all it does is water down the men's match because you're having 2 of the same match types back to back. I don't give a fuck if one is an opener and one's the main event. You're having them on the same show. It's no different than having 2 Money in the Bank fucking matches. You're exhausting the fans with the match concept, and all you're doing in the end of the fucking day is fucking over the match concept. You're watering down Randy Orton's return. You're fucking over the women who are going to be forgotten about. Or a footnote, if you end up still running that fucking angle, nobody wins here. Why? Because equity is fucking lame. Equity is fucking stupid. When will you get it through your goddamn mindset? At the end of the day, you're just fucking over each other. Here's the thing, what you should do, in the end of the day, use common sense. Ain't saying women can't main event over women, because of course you're going to get a bunch of people, you're sexist, you're misogynist. No, you're sexist and you're misogynist, because I'm actually looking out for the benefit of the women. It's not to say that women cannot main event over men. I'm not saying that at all. Now, granted, if that happens to be the case, then holy fuck, that must be a shitty men's division. But that's not to knock the product. That's not to knock the women. It's just usually, historically, the product is usually at its hottest when it's the men in the main event. Not to say the women can't do that, but they have not done that. I mean, what, when Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey was the main event for WrestleMania, you guys tell me, how hyped did you feel about that WrestleMania? How hyped were you about the product at the time? Huh? Because outside of that, what you had, the Kofi Kingston storyline going on? I guarantee you more you were actually hyped for the Kofi Kingston storyline than you were for the main event of fucking WrestleMania happened to be the women. Point being, that's the case. That's historically. That's not misogyny. That's just observation, assholes. Of course, it's always misogyny when you have to impress a woman that doesn't know that you're fucking breathing. Who are you helping in the end of the day with this? People are like, who are you harming in? And I just gave you a bunch of fucking things that you're harming. The main event, the superstars that are involved in this whole thing. Those are who you're harming. That's who you're harming. That's who you're fucking up. That's who you're fucking over in the end of the day. Not to mention the obvious things that go in the future going forward. Because at the end of the day, this match right here that could be very, very good that no one's going to remember because Randy Orton's going to overshadow that shit and maybe even potentially a CM Punk. These women are going to put themselves on the line. They're going to hurt themselves knowing that they have to do much more to impress, to at least not be totally overshadowed by Randy Orton. Who am I hurting? Who am I harming? People don't think straight. People don't think past the fucking surface. But that's fine. That's okay. Go ahead, neckbeards. Go ahead, puke chambeards. Go ahead, Timothy. Do your thing on Twitter. Hopefully you could get some people rallying around you and you all can make a bunch of noise. Maybe you could picket sign, make a picket sign protesting and then post it on Twitter. The picture of you protesting in your fucking bedroom. Maybe just make a picket sign in general and just post that. Take a picture that just post the picket sign in itself on Twitter. That's the road we're headed down anyways, right? Well, to be fair, I'd much rather that than fucking BLM riots, right? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Oh, Devontae, you're such a sexist. Oh, Devontae, you're such a misogynist. Oh, Devontae, I bet you can't get any women. Oh, Devontae, you such a virgin. You're such a virgin. You're a virgin. It's always the virgins talking to the person who has 2 kids who wants to call the other person a virgin. That's fine. I understand. I know your sock is getting very tired right now. It's tired of the sexual abuse you keep fucking give it to it. It has one job. It wants to go on your foot. It wants to protect your foot from all the fucking gross fungus that live inside your shoe because you haven't changed your shoes in the better part of 5 years. How does your feet even still fit in that shoe there, Charlie? Huh? Yeah, you too, Charlie. You're gonna get the same fucking smoke just like Timothy. How? How do you do that, huh? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Video games, right? Gotta buy those video games. Gotta buy that new fucking snack, that new version of Cheetos. Oh, look at that. Gotta smear that on my dick also. Gotta get the smell there. You know, it's a characteristic of mine to have a Cheeto dick, right? You guys fucking sick of me, man. They will never fuck you. As always, my name is Devontae, and I'll be catching you gents later. Deuces, P. Eyes.